Hey, clients, or anybody, I guess, reading this who is interested enough to listen to me talk about real estate. Uh, we're getting out of monthly stats. That's probably the biggest change you'll see from things moving forward this year. Straight away, if you are looking at the numbers on a monthly basis, wondering if your house has gone up by 0.5% or gone down by 1.5%, boy, that is kind of a meaningless number, to be honest. The way the stats work, it's really based on the basket of goods that were sold that month. And if you have a month where, for example, there were 3 or 4 sales over $2 million, that's going to skew the numbers up. And if you have a month where, like for example, when we're looking at freehold homes, sometimes that includes freehold townhouses that don't have a condo fee. Um, and if a few of those sell in with our single family housing numbers, you'll see it skew downwards. So all that to say, I mean, you really shouldn't be watching it month over month, anyways. If you're ever interested in what your house might be worth, um, it's probably best to talk to a real estate agent, a local real estate agent as well. We're happy to answer that call. Um, because I think largely, I mean, there's some seasonality, there's just the unique aspects of your home or where the market's at, where interest rates are at, and that's going to have more of an impact on the value of your home than uh, what the numbers show in terms of what sold last month or the month before on a totally aggregate basis. Um, where are we at with real estate right now? It's still expensive. We've seen interest rates come down. I mean, there's a big difference between the variable rates that are continuing to come down and fixed rates, which most people had been qualifying on straight away. So as you've seen variable rates come down, it hasn't had a huge impact on what people are qualifying for financing, because a large portion of them have been qualifying for financing based on fixed rates, which haven't really moved. To be honest, they came down a little bit, they've gone up a little bit. There's a whole other thing that we can get into on why that is the way it is, but all that to say, its impact on the real estate market has meant that rates have come down, but haven't put enough affordability back into the market based on where prices went to. Would have thought prices would have come down a little further than they have, but there's definitely a floor to pricing. I mean, you see it at times where a property might be listed at less than it's worth, and typically, if that's the case, you see multiple buyers show up and bid the value of the property back up. So, um, affordability is still tougher in this market, but there are ways to get into it and to make it affordable. And there's still enough money out there and enough buyers who do qualify to kind of continue to keep prices at the levels that they're at. And also, when we look at the stability of the market, what it costs to build a house now is just a lot more than it was 10, 15 years ago. You look at labor and input costs for sure. Also, new building code, for example, when they layer in, we need to have this much insulation now and you need to have these extra safety measures. That also drives a lot of the additional building costs. I mean, municipalities are looking at higher development charges in order to balance budgets. So there's a lot of factors that are going into the input costs in real estate that are going to keep prices elevated um, moving forward. And I think probably what we will start to see is incomes kind of start to creep up and affordability return to the market. Right now, two people earning kind of average-ish incomes, which boy is probably about $80,000 a year now, anyways. They are able to get into the market. They are able to afford something. The story is as old as time. When you make your first purchase, regardless of whether or not you paid $150,000 or $1,150,000, it feels like it was all of your money and how you're ever going to afford it. And those are some conversations that we can definitely help with if these numbers seem out to lunch for you. Suffice to say, we are generally able to find people opportunities to enter the market. Um, and with all that being said, I mean, we're talking about real estate, and a large portion of the conversation has gone back to interest rates, financing, and how to make things affordable. And that is why we have a mortgage arm within our team that services specifically our clients. We are the only lending brokerage in the country that has access to 4 of the big 6 banks. We do work with a lending brokerage that specifically deals with more unique files, a lot of investment, people purchasing kind of outside of the box, people who are self-employed, people whose incomes aren't necessarily straightforward. We have some great programs through traditional lenders to help with a lot of that. And Scott, who is our mortgage underwriter, has a ton of history in the industry in terms of mortgage brokering, and anybody who knows my story knows that the biggest reason that we've been able to grow a real estate business the way that we have is because of our ability to obtain financing to purchase more real estate. I mean, there's a whole backstory to that. When I used to work at a bank in lending, and some of the courses that we took through university, and then just my own experience for 20 plus years buying real estate, obtaining financing, refinancing, and continuing to work to use my mortgage, not just as a way to buy other real estate, but to top up your tax-free savings account, to top up RSPs and take tax advantages. We now have opportunities for people who have RSPs that want to loan that money out on the mortgage market. We can actually take money from your RSP and loan it out and keep that return tax sheltered inside your RSP. So if you're looking to diversify there, we've definitely got some opportunities where you can support some local developers and providing them some cash to build some things. And there's definitely some opportunities kind of coming in through our business that way. We also do have, it's under the same roof, but a separate business entity that deals with property management. That's specifically for our clients. And it is something that a lot of people aren't going to need. If you're not an investor, why do you really need a property manager? Well, every now and again, you're away for a couple of weeks, you need somebody to cut the grass, or boy, you run into a problem and you just need something done right away, a hole dug, heater's dropped off somewhere, or you've run into a problem, your furnace is kicked out and you just need a guy. Wouldn't recommend calling Reliance, even though they might show up right away, or they're going to charge you twice as much as the next guy might. And again, we have some solutions for that. So anything real estate related, please do reach out. Ultimately, if we can help, we will draw you a path towards it, and we'll stand there right beside you and make sure that it works out from beginning to end. And if your best option is to get a mortgage from the company that's currently providing mortgage that we aren't involved in, or to not sell your house, or to just sell it to your neighbor without our involvement, we're going to give you that advice because ultimately the way we've built the business isn't looking to try and make money per transaction. It's just to make sure that our clients are happy and well serviced. And over the course of time, we believe that the business will continue to generate itself. That's a lot of talking from a guy like me. If you are at all interested in doing this over a coffee or a beer, or just want to have a chat on the phone, I'm always up to chat about real estate. Just ask my wife. So it's a pretty informal way to get this information out, but the more time I talk to people and have conversations throughout the year, I feel like it's good to just put this out to the universe every so often and let it known that this is what we're here for, this is what we do, and we will look forward to continuing to do it in the future. Anyways, anything real estate related you want to chat about, reach out, even if you're just curious about what we're doing. We see some cool stuff day to day, just out and about, and we'd love to share it, and we'll try and do a better job at getting it out to you, should you so desire. Anyways, we're not good at editing videos either, so none of this is going to happen either. But great. I hope to see more of you throughout the year. And until then, enjoy the winter, stay warm and dry.